So welcome Tanner, aka Robby Keene from Cobra Kai. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So first question, how did you first get involved with the show, and did you kind of do karate prior to the role at all?
I got involved with the show because I just got an audition. I knew the casting directors, so they kind of brought me in and guided me and knew what the writers were wanting. And I went in for a chemistry read and actually read with Billy and Ralph. And from there, it was actually a pretty fast process. I would say a couple days to 3 days after I ended up getting the job. And I was super excited.
Yeah.
As for martial arts, I did Taekwondo when I was very young, around like the age of 12, and I got like 2 or 3 belts away from black belt, but just got too busy and never finished it. And then actually, before I had even heard of the show or got the show, I was actually up in Canada shooting something different, and I did Muay Thai for about 8 months.
Wow.
So I have some background in martial arts, not years and years, obviously, but
Yeah.
enough that it helped me out when I got there.
Yeah. So are the scenes of you learning all the moves, is that actually real then? So you are physically learning them?
Yeah, we are. Actually, our stunt coordinators, Hito Koda and Janelle Kerfman, they work with us really, really hard in order for us to do as many stunts as we possibly can. You know, to a certain extent, but they want us to do as much as we can, as do the writers, because it just makes the show that much better, so they're not having to do cutaways or, you know, super wide shots, super shaky shots to hide that it might be a stunt double. They want us to do as much as we possibly can, and we actually want to do as much as we possibly can as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how long did it take to shoot that amazing sequence when you were balancing on like the pond?
Oh, in the garden.
Yeah.
The wheel. Well, actually, it was actually a gimbal. So basically, It was kind of like robotic.
Right.
And they moved it themselves. It was actually extremely stable, and we had to pretend as though it was not stable at all. So it was actually the opposite.
Yeah.
But I think it was actually really, really cool, because I think the guys from the Fast and the Furious, a lot of them, the guys that build a lot of their rigs actually built that for us, which was kind of interesting.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So just going to Cobra Kai quickly. Did you see yourself, do you see yourself as the hero like Daniel was in Karate Kid, or do you think the show's done a really good job of mixing up the roles of bully and bullied?
That's the one thing that I think Josh, John, and Hayden do a really good job of, and that's what I explain to people that even are curious about the show, that maybe don't know about it or know about it and don't know if they want to watch it. I always say that there's no good person and bad person. There's no hero. There's no villain.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. Everybody's not bad per se, but makes mistakes, right?
Yes.
Everybody in this show is just human beings. That's what's so great about this show, is Josh, John, and Hayden make everybody human beings. Therefore, it makes everybody relatable, and why I think there are so many views on the show, and why so many people, not just super fans, love the show, that people that have never even heard of Cobra Kai or the Karate Kid actually like the show, because they can relate to each and every character.
Definitely. And it definitely feels really real as well in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely, because not everyone goes through a karate feud every single day. However, everybody has these problems sometime in their life, whether it's girl problems or problems with another guy, or some people have problems with parents and their parents not being around, or some people have problems with their spouses. Everything's a relatable situation in the show, and I think that's what makes it so real.
Definitely, yeah. And following season 2 kind of finale, there's obviously massive rumours of Elizabeth returning as Ali in season 3. If you could pick any of the Karate Kid alum who you'd like to see return, who would you pick?
Oh, that's interesting. See, now read some fan theories.
Oh.
And I know a lot of the Karate Kid fans are going to get maybe not be happy with me, and I know it's not supposed to exist or anything, but I would kind of actually like to see Hilary Swank return.
Oh.
I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people would expect that, but I think she's the one that I would actually kind of like to see return. I just think it would be an interesting dynamic.
Definitely, yeah. That would be a very interesting one, wouldn't it? A bit left field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah. So, a bit of a fun question. Who do you think would win in a fight between Daniel LaRusso from the original Karate Kid or yourself, Robby Keene, from Cobra Kai now?
Oh, that's a good one. I think Robby, without training, would definitely lose against Daniel LaRusso because he has already had the training, and Robby just has too much anger without the training, and he would just lose because his anger would take over and nothing would happen, and he wouldn't be any good. However, I do think I can say that Robby has an edge, considering that Daniel has said that he has learned faster than he has when he was younger. So I think, given that Robby is learning faster and Daniel's been out of it for a few years until now he started doing it with Robby again, I think it would be a pretty even match.
Mm.
I think if you put us into simulations, I think maybe Daniel would win some, and then Robby would win some. I don't know who would come out on top though, but I'm going to say it's pretty even.
Yeah, fair enough. So there were two huge cliffhangers in the season 2 finale. Can you tell us anything about season 3, or have you not seen any scripts yet?
We have not seen any scripts yet. I know a lot of us have actually talked to the writers though, and we know I know where my character's going a little bit.
Okay.
I can't say much. However, I can say that I'm very happy with it. And I do think it's going to bring a lot of interesting dynamics this season 3, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you initially think when you read that script for the last episode with, I don't want to spoil too much, but the big fight at the end?
Yes. It was funny because we all got 10, and I think we were shooting that day, and I think on lunch, right before lunch, we had gotten the script. So actually, me and Mary, who plays Samantha, we each noticed, and we broke for lunch. And I don't think we even went to lunch. We just went into this really quiet room, and we just kind of read it together to see where everything was going. And finally, the big cliffhanger, especially for me, at the end of season 2 was, at first, it was alarming to me.
Yeah.
Because I had to talk to the writers, and without giving too much away, I wanted to talk to the writers and make sure that, when they shot this and when it was perceived, it wouldn't be perceived in a vicious way. Right? It would be more of a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I also really talked to our stunt coordinators, Hito Koda and Janelle Kerfman, and made sure that, and was like, hey guys, can we make sure that when this happens and we do this and this, that we're for sure when we pick it up on camera, it looks like an accident, because it's one of those things where it is just wrong place, wrong time.
Definitely.
There was just a lot of anger going on, and there was no control of how that could have ended up. It could have ended up completely different, but it just happened to be where we were and what happened.
Yeah.
So it was alarming, but I made sure I was talking to everybody, saying, hey, so Robby is not, that guy, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
no, we'll make sure. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah, phew. Yeah. So the big question is, and I think all the fans want to know, do you think Daniel and Johnny will actually, we all just want to see them friends now, I think, right?
I think Ralph and Billy want to see Daniel and Johnny as friends. I think everybody wants to see them as friends. Whether that will ever happen is up in the air, but I also, from talking to the writers and all the ideas that they have an endless amount of ideas, and I wouldn't say that anything is plausible.
Yeah.
That's 100% for sure. Truly anything.
Yeah. Just an interesting thing on like behind the scenes. What's it like working on like a YouTube Red project in comparison to a network TV show?
Well, I have to say that, I mean, working in general is great.
Yeah.
Jobs for actors are very few and far between, especially how many people are out here, and I'm extremely grateful to be able to be working consistently on such an amazing project, especially since the set is like a family and everyone gets along and everyone's always happy hanging out with each other. It's absolutely incredible. It's very nice because a lot of, and look, I get it, a lot of network shows have been around for a while. Yeah. They know what works and they know what doesn't, which is great. So when it comes to lines, when it comes to ideas, the way an actor performs, sometimes you may be limited. Even though you still have that freedom, you may be limited to changing the lines on the spot right there and completely changing the scene around, right?
Yeah. Because
that you can't just completely change the scene around after they've been working on it and it has to go through so many people. With someone, which I've noticed in a lot of other, kind of new media platforms, especially with YouTube, they seem to be giving us a little bit more freedom. But that also comes along with, Josh, John, and Hayden are our writers. They're also our creators as well. So, they're also our executive producers. They're there 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So YouTube is kind of they've given them, endless creativity with it and trust them with it in a sense of if we want to change the scene around, we have that ability and don't have to go through so many people and just stick with what is on the page. So it's actually kind of nice being able to have that creative freedom that you may not necessarily get with a network show.
Yeah. Wow. So last question. Are you working on anything else at the moment, or is it mainly just waiting for season 3?
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple of lower budget movies this year. One's called The Hyperions. It's got Carrie Elways in it from The Princess Bride. And then I also did another movie called Max Winslow and the House of Secrets. And that has Chad Michael Murray in it.
Wow.
And Emery Kelly and Jason Janeo from, Alexa and Katie on Netflix, and also On My Block from Netflix.
Yeah.
And I am actually going to shoot a movie here in a few weeks in Vancouver before we go and start shooting season 3 of Cobra Kai. I can't say much about that one yet, but I'm very excited about that one.
So very showbiz at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No, I can't.
Yeah. So. But I heard that there's going to be a Karate Kid comic. Are you going to pick that up?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. IDW.
I'm really?
Yeah.
That's great information. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, now that I know it's coming out, I'm going to.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much.